Dear Marge, I'm in love with a very nice girl, but she is an alphabet addict. She stays at home in the afternoons and does it alone.
Fool.
Hey, that's a bit wobbly.
Oh, I know. Q's and O's are very hard.
That reminds me of a story about Michelangelo, the reason he got the job at the Sistine Chapel.
Hmm?
Yeah. The Pope, or whoever it was, said, "Prove to me you're a great artist," and he did. He drew a perfect circle freehand.
Is that right?
Yeah. The old pontiff was so chuffed he gave him a job. So don't worry about your O's.
Oh, I feel a lot better now knowing that.
What are they for, anyway?
I play cards with them at nursery school. Kind of snap. Kids just think of them as shapes, but before long they become familiar with the letters.
Or accomplished card sharps.
I won't be long.
Hey, I've got some pizzas. Got them at the Italian's place.
Fine.
One of them's a bit bent. The pizzas. They'll be all right. You put a lot of work into that, don't you?
Try.
Seem to be putting more into it than you used to.
No, you just see more of it, that's all.
You're not going to give it up, are you? Because of your father?
Well, of course not. The nursery school's got nothing to do with the church.
Funny, I thought it had in some obscure way.
He had a great deal to do with starting it, but that's all.
Would you regret giving it up?
Yes, I would, but I'm not going to. Look, he just doesn't enter into it.
I must talk to you about it sometime.
About what?
Getting off your father's toes, getting out of the shadow. Come on, let's cook.
I'm just eating. Sit down. Do you mind if I...
No. No. How are you going on?
All right.
That doesn't look much of a meal.
Oh, it's adequate.
You should have a housekeeper. No.
No.
It would only be common sense.
No, I don't need a housekeeper. I need somebody to come in and clean up now and again, no?
Well, there's Mrs. Morley.
I'll have it in hand.
I still think a housekeeper would be more suitable.
Aye, but what if she was unsuitable? Then she'd have to get the sack. And I'm not sure that I could do it.
Well, we'd make a canny choice.
Oh, no. I'd probably end up with some shrill, honest soul to drive me insane. All neatness and, oh, Mr. Smith. No, we'll leave that alone for the time being.
How is it with your daughter, anyway?
Oh. All right, I think.
I mean things, the position.
Position?
Ah, well, I know she's not living here now.
No, she isn't.
And I've heard from her that she's giving up the work she does for the church.
Uh-huh.
Just withdrawing her services. Well, come on, man. Am I not to know why?
And she told you?
No, I've had nothing but a wee note on one side of a bit of paper.
Oh, I'm sure when you see her, she'll tell you.
Oh, come on, man.
Look, Bill, can we just get down to discussing the election of the elders, eh?
Proposition came up today.
What sort of?
You know that friend of mine, Stuart? The guy I was at university with?
Stuart Sutherland?
Yes. Well, he's going into partnership with a friend of his, and they've asked me to join him.
What, in Edinburgh?
Yeah.
Is it an offer? Definite?
Well, yes, it is, only he thought I was well set up here.
But you are.
It's a very good idea.
Professionally?
Of course. He's a very good lawyer. I don't know the other guy, but I'm sure he's good.
Well, it's up to you. I don't know him. I don't know what it would mean.
He's a nice guy. You'd like him. But I've been thinking. It does seem to make sense.
I don't see why you should have to chuck everything up just for...
No, it's not that. It's just that it's a very good move for me. And I mean, it does come at a very opportune moment, doesn't it?
If we were to go to Edinburgh?
Yes. It's 50 miles away. That's far enough to remove the thorns from sides.
Yes.
Well, I want to know. Are you happy with it? I'll tell him tomorrow.
Do you want to?
Yes.
Then fine.
Great. Let's have a drink.
How long would it be before we had to go?
I don't know. It won't be immediately. Well, I hope not.
Hey, that's enough.
Come on. This calls for copious toasts.
To whom?
To the bourgeoisie of Edinburgh. We'll live on their fat.
Benjamin?
Yeah?
When?
I don't know. He's only just pushed the idea out.
No, I don't mean that. I mean,
Oh.
when do we?
I see. You're not cut out for living in sin, are you?
No. I think it would be better if we got married fairly soon.
Is it screwing you up?
A bit.
Daughter of the meds.
No, it's not that. It's a funny kind of limbo.
Yeah, I can see. Okay.
I don't want you to feel that I'm pushing you.
No. If you did, I wouldn't mind. We make definite plans. Shouldn't I buy you a ring?
I don't know. Do you need one in a registry office?
No, I mean a real one, a diamond.
I'll forgive you.
No, I'll buy one tomorrow. I'll surprise you. When I give it to you, your eyes are supposed to light up in accordance with the full suburban Orthodox rites.
I'm sure they will.
Come on, we'll make the plans. We'll publicise it. We'll stop scandalising people.
Wednesday, all right?
That'll be fine.
Afternoon?
All right for me, but not for Thomas. Evening?
Bring him round.
He's the likeliest man for me. And I'm sure he'll be willing.
So you said at great lengths.
Have I? Well, you've not had a great deal to say yourself.
Oh, I've been listening.
No, I mean in general, you've not offered much in the way of opinions.
Maybe not. I suppose I don't know the parish well enough yet.
Of course you do. You know everyone who's likely to be proposed anyway.
Oh, yes.
You should do.
We'll be electing what, 2 new elders?
Probably.
And now they're under 65, eh?
Well, we are electing elders.
I just wish we could find someone a bit younger.
No. I won't take it on.
Unfortunately, I suppose that's true.
Unfortunate? Oh, I don't know. You look for someone with a wee bit of knowledge of the world and great faith.
Aye, maybe the world that our elders know is not quite the world the sun rose on this morning.
I know. You'll tell me the world's a changing place. I've heard it before.
Well, it is, isn't it?
I don't think human nature changes very much for all that.
Oh, I suppose not.
And you're not going to tell me a man doesn't know what's going on just because he's over 65.
Not at all. You know, you're an awful man taking what I say to extreme. Now, if we could just find somebody younger, in their 30s, say.
At least you've not got teenagers in mind. That's the fashion now.
Oh, well.
Oh, really, Adam?
Young people in their 20s. Why not? You see people of that age doing tremendous things. Why not? Why not own the church to them? Let them use it. Let them show us how to use it. We've certainly shown them. And why are they not there using it, eh?
You're thinking of Helen's generation, aren't you?
I suppose.
Adam, if she and her like turn away from the church, you don't have to think that you're to blame.
It's a possibility.
If they stray off the path, it's not for us to go blundering off in the tracks.
Look, a lot of people care about the same things as I do. It's just that they see God as irrelevant, you know, part of an ancient world. Now, Helen's young man, he has principles. He has compassion, I think. He appears to hate the greed and evil in man, but he also loathes religion.
Well, he's one man.
No. He's a way of thinking that my daughter and others have inclined towards. Why?
I think you make too much of it, in her case. It's an age when people go through their doubts. They grow away. It's my belief she'll grow back.
Anyway, I don't think that my opinion on the election of the elders has anything to do with Helen in that business.
Well, I disagree, if you'll allow me.
Susie loves 2 coffees. Sugar?
Please.
Please.
So, the answer's yes.
Yes, if you're serious.
Oh, I am. You didn't take long about it.
Well, it's a particularly attractive offer.
I should have thought so.
And there is another influential factor. You see, I'm trying to escape from in-law problems.
But I heard you correctly.
Yep, I'm going to get married.
That's a bit sudden, isn't it?
Well, 'tis a bit. That also's got a lot to do with the in-law. You see, there's only one of them.
Don't tell me. A mother.
No, it's her father. He's a vicar. And we don't see eye to eye on certain fundamental issues.
Well, I can imagine that.
Yes, I wish it was as funny as that.
Well, it does have certain rather droll qualities, as I see.
Oh, sure. You see, I don't dislike him, and I don't think he dislikes me. It's just that he's a vicar. I mean, a minister.
Well, I don't see how that precipitates things. Shouldn't it slow things down?
Well, we had to make a choice. We made one. Helen's living at my place.
Oh, I see.
And we're going to get married in short order.
When?
I don't know. Actually, if you're still around, will you be a witness?
I'd be delighted. I'd come through from Edinburgh. You tell me when.
OK, well, I'll go to the registry office, get the first available offer.
All right. Well, it's very good of you, Peggy, but you mustn't make a habit of it.
Never suggested I would.
I'm no chef, you know, but I can get by.
I'm sure.
What about Alec's lunch?
Ah, now, Alec is a chef. He can't get by, mind you, but he's a great cook. You know, I wouldn't have thought it was like you to be so stern.
No, would I, but I'm forced.
You mean you won't even be present when she gets married?
No, because of what it would mean.
Well, I'm damned if I can see it.
Oh, of course you can.
All right, I can see why it upsets you.
Oh, it's not a question of being upset. I could be upset 100 times and still go if it were that simple.
I realise it's not quite that simple, but you could take your collar off and just be her father, even if it does go against your religious, professional...
Look, they're getting married in a registry office. Now, that's a very definite gesture. Why? Because Ben is an atheist, and Helen has moved away from any faith that she once had. Now,
You're the minister, yes.
Yes. And I have married many people and will be called upon to marry many more, God willing. And when I do, I say that marriage is a holy estate instituted by God. Well, the service begins with the words, except that the Lord build a house, they labour in vain that build it. Now, can I say publicly that it is different from my daughter? Can I gloss over that in her case? Not if I believe those words and expect people to believe me when I say them. And can I expect them to have faith in the rest of what I'm here to say? If I compromise on that? No. And no, I can't separate a minister from being a father any more than I can go along in disguise.
All right, I see it. Have you talked to Ben? Is he so adamant an atheist?
Oh, Ben has made his beliefs very plain. He thinks that God is an ingenious device contrived by man to get around moral problems, if I summarise them correctly.
Well, that doesn't sound like Helen's point of view. Not to me.
Well, she inclines more towards it now than she does towards me.
I wonder if she really inclines either way.
Well, her actions would certainly suggest she does.
Oh, come on. She inclines to Ben because she's in love with him. Between the pair of you, you've forced her actions onto her.
No.
Of course. You and he have squared up to each other. Oh, in the most reasonable way, I've no doubt, but you have. It's not unheard of for fathers and suitors.
Oh, come on now, don't throw the paperback psychology at me.
Psychology, my eye. That's a home truth. Was around long before Freud.
Well, it's a very feminine thing to say, if you'll forgive me saying so. Just a simple question of principles.
And if you'll forgive me, that is an intensely masculine thing to say. Principles is a masculine noun. It is in French. Men always retreat to prepared positions, whole trenches of principles.
Is there anything wrong with that?
No, I suppose not. But every man of principles believes he's right. Absolutely. There must be some wrong principle somewhere.
If you don't like it, we can always...
No, it's beautiful. My eyes really do light up.
Good.
Ben, what would you say if I said I wanted to get married in the church?
You're not going to.
If?
I'd resist.
Say I insisted and said it was very important.
I'd talk you out of it.
So you couldn't?
I'm sure I
Oh,
could.
please, Ben, what if?
I don't know.
You don't know.
Well... Oh, we're not going to go through all that again, are
You
we?
love me?
No. Yes.
Well, wouldn't it be worth it? It only takes half an hour.
All right. I suppose so.
You suppose so? Is that all?
If it was really important to you, I'd clench my teeth and I'd go to church. All right?
It's important for me to know.
But you didn't want to do it any more than I
No,
did.
I know I don't, but for different reasons.
Either way, it's the same. You're either a believer or you're not.
Well, you're not a believer, but you don't have to feel guilty about it.
Nor do you.
But I do.
Guilty?
Yes, partly guilty, partly, well, I don't know, afraid.
I suppose you are a special case. Must be a bit difficult.
I'm not very good at putting into words, but when you step outside something that's always been round you, you do feel, well, kind of afraid.
Of what?
Well, afraid of not having it there anymore to lean on. And afraid that after all, you might be wrong.
It's just a hangover from the fear of God. It's going to take a long time to get out of your system.
Maybe.
You're not afraid of getting married, are you?
Oh, yes, I'm sure I am.
I suppose you should be. I don't know.
Well, aren't you?
No, not at all. Except when you start reading the service from this thing.
Oh, I was only looking at it.
Why?
Well, to see what it was we objected to so strongly.
The assumption that we're doing it for God, in front of God. I mean, who are you doing it for? I'll be there because I love you. That's it. Full stop.
Oh, I know. I read it and I couldn't look Adam in the eye if he was saying those words.
Words, that's all they are.
Maybe if it was any other minister, just not my father, I might be able to go through with it.
No. You'd see him in every church. You'd still feel guilty. Of course, being only words. I suppose I could come up with an interpretation.
What do you mean?
Well, way of reading through so we could sneak through. I mean, they're only words. Not as precise as the law. And I'm paid money to extract favourable meanings from words.
It's very cynical. That's exactly what I couldn't do. That would make it worse. Then it would be a trick.
Well, don't ask me to do it then. Anyway, you're sidetracking me.
Am I?
There's something very important. There's a news flash that goes with the ring.
What?
If you take a couple of hours off next Wednesday, we are getting married.
Wednesday?
Yep, they had a cancellation.
But, I mean, aren't there things we should do first or something?
No, we just do it. Now, you're not going to let me down. I've been through the most amazing contortions to get a special license. I've paid good money.
Well, this is some time of night to drop in.
I'm sorry. Were you just going to bed?
No, I was working, but I finished. Alex in bed, but then he lives peculiar hours. I saw your father earlier.
How was he?
He looked much as you do, rather somber.
Oh,
All right. What is it?
panic.
Go on.
I feel as if I'm being catapulted.
Well, things did come to a head rather quickly.
Wednesday it is.
What is?
Ben has been to the registry office and we are getting married on Wednesday at 2:30.
My word. Is he rushing you?
Oh, I don't know if it is me that's rushing him. He felt that the sooner it was done, the happier I would be.
And wasn't that right?
Well, yes. But now, all of a sudden, I feel as if I'm being catapulted.
Well, maybe there's something to be said for it. Very decisive of him.
Ben is very decisive.
Have you told Adam yet?
No,
Well, you should.
of course, even if it is just a formality. But look, that's not all. Ben's now talking about joining a partnership in Edinburgh.
Is this because of Adam?
Partly. Mainly. He thinks we'd all be on better terms further apart.
And when would this be?
A month or two. Knowing Ben, probably just a month.
Well, I can see why you're a bit dizzy with it all.
Oh, I want to marry Ben. And I don't think I really mind going to Edinburgh, I suppose. I just feel that I need time to draw breath.
Then stop letting events hurl you along. You're entitled to control them as well, you know. I mean, you could call a halt.
I want Ben.
Have Ben. But you don't have to do everything on his terms or Adam's. Have some of your own. All I hear about is Adam's principles or Ben's. Adam's made you leave home. Ben's are driving you headlong. Well, you make some decisions. Let them damn well compromise.
Peggy, the awful truth of it is I don't have any great principles. It wasn't a conscious decision to leave the church or reject God. It was just the way I feel.
I don't think principles are any mightier than feelings.
What should I do?
Stop being their football and kick the pair of them.
How? What do I say?
You tell Adam when he starts to build his rampart of principles to leave a bloody door in it. That's all I'm saying.
I suppose you're wondering why I haven't called before.
Well, I think we all understand. Please, sit down.
Oh, thanks. Helen, is she...
No, she's not here.
Oh, pity.
Was it her you came to see?
No, both of you. I suppose the reason I haven't called before is because I was angry.
Yeah.
Well, I couldn't see that Helen needed to go off like that, not the way she did.
Well, you made your attitude pretty clear.
Well, I don't think I can have done that.
Don't try and tell me you didn't mean what you said or what I thought you said, because you did.
Well, let's just say that my attitude is now a bit more considerate.
I think I know what you're going to say next.
Do you?
Yeah. First of all, you were startled when she left, then alarmed. Now you're going to ask us to take time to consider things.
Yeah, something very like that.
Then you're going to make a little show of backing down, and we'll have to make a show of backing down, and then you'll ask us to wait a year or two, and, well, that's the way the scenario goes, doesn't it?
You're very hostile.
Yes, you don't want me to marry your daughter. I do.
Then wouldn't it be better if we were on speaking terms?
Yes, certainly. As long as we don't discuss religion.
Look, just let me say this. I've known for a long time that Helen had moved away from faith. I just let it go by. Because it was easier. No, easier is not the word.
No, I follow.
No, it's like when you start to know that your daughter isn't a virgin, she's sleeping with men. Fathers usually find that difficult. Choose to ignore it, or pretend to ignore it. I did.
I'm not the man that took your daughter's soul or her body.
No, but you're the man who was there when the time finally came to let the truth in. Oh, I was surprised as anyone at my own reaction.
Well, if you keep these things suppressed inside, I mean, when they do come out, they come out with amazing force. If they do come out.
Sometimes with more force than one intends.
You're backing down, aren't you? You're doing it very convincingly. Thank you.
Look, I'm just saying if you get married, I accept it without hostility. But you're right, I'm going to say I do think you should both give yourselves a little longer. You know, Helen running off like that was precipitate. You know, I wouldn't like you to...
Does next Wednesday strike you as precipitate?
You can't be.
Yeah, the registrar office.
But that's exactly what I mean. Why?
Because Helen wants it.
Well, what about you?
Well, I want Helen. I mean, that piece of paper is just a detail to me, but it's very important to her. So, Wednesday.
I want to talk to her. Where is she? Will she be back?
She's probably at Peggy's, if I know anything.
At this hour?
Yeah, Peggy's the sort of female guru. Day and night dispensary. Should we go and pick them up? She'll be very pleased to see you.
Ben's either fast asleep or he's not there.
I'll run you home.
Cheek of it. Where is he?
Take it back. See if there's a cup of coffee in that thing for him.
Hello, Peggy.
Hello.
Hello, Ben. Come away in. Two cups for the unexpected guests.
Hello, Helen.
Hello.
Hi.
I called round to Ben's.
Here, I'll see to that. You take the others into the lounge.
We had something of a talk.
Your father's going to try and talk us out of Wednesday.
Oh.
Well, only because I think you ought to both, think for a little longer. For your own sakes.
We've done quite enough thinking.
Yes, but just think for a little longer. There's no need to be rash. Ben would wait.
Would you?
Well, I'd have to if you wanted to. Just listen to what your father has to say.
You two amaze me. One minute you're loggerheads, the next you're thick as thieves.
I only ask you to listen to him.
No. We'd end up waiting just to please you. Look, if we said, all right, as a token gesture, we'll get married in the church, would you marry us?
No, you know that.
Yes, I know. Well, look, we're getting married on Wednesday. Not in a church and not as a token gesture, but as a matter of fact.
Now, are you going to be there or not?
Well, I said I wouldn't be, didn't I?
your name, please?
Yeah, Davis, Ben. 2:30.
Thank you. Could you just wait there and I'll call you in? Thank you.
We should have had a couple of large ones.
All in good time, Ben.
You're nervous.
I know.
Sorry I'm late. I got held up with the traffic.
That's all right. You got here.
Okay. Ben,
Oh, this is Stuart, my best man, Helen's father.
how do you do?
How do you do?
Well, you look fine. Very fine indeed.
Mr. Davis, will you come in now, please?
Hardly takes 5 minutes.